Today, we're not just talking about challenges. We're talking about what they're really doing inside you, even when you can't see it yet.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Everyday English Podcast, your space for calm conversations and real-life inspiration. I'm James.
And I'm Emily. We're so glad you pressed play today. Maybe you're on your way to work, sitting on the couch, or even staring at the ceiling. Wherever you are, know that you're not alone.
That's so true. No matter where you're listening from, we're really happy you're here with us. Life can throw challenges at us, sometimes when we least expect it. Some days they're small and annoying, other days they feel overwhelming. And today we're talking about exactly that, how challenges, even the hard ones, can slowly shape us into stronger versions of ourselves.
Absolutely. And before we get into the lessons, maybe we should start with a real story. A few years ago, I was given a project at work that I felt completely unprepared for. I remember staring at my screen thinking, can I really do this? Am I capable? What if I fail?
I know exactly what you mean. I've had moments like that too. It feels like standing in front of a massive wall, right? You look up and it seems impossible to climb.
Yes, exactly. And every step forward feels tiny, almost insignificant.
Right. And sometimes you wonder if those tiny steps even matter.
Exactly. I remember questioning myself constantly. My mind kept repeating negative thoughts. But then, something shifted. I realized I didn't need to solve everything at once. I just needed to take one small step.
That's such an important point. One small step. Not 10, not the whole staircase, just one.
Yes, and that one small step gave me a little confidence. Then another step gave me a bit more clarity. Slowly, I stopped feeling stuck.
You know, I think one reason challenges feel so heavy is because they attack our identity. It's not just about the task itself, it's about what it makes us believe about ourselves.
That's true. When something is difficult, we don't just think, this task is hard. We often think, maybe I'm not good enough.
Exactly. And that's where the real struggle begins. Not in the situation, but in the story we tell ourselves about the situation.
Yes, the internal narrative, the quiet voice that says, you can't handle this.
And sometimes that voice sounds very convincing.
It does. But here's something powerful. That voice is not always telling the truth. It's often just trying to protect us from discomfort.
That's such a good point. Fear isn't always a stop sign. Sometimes it's just a signal that we're entering new territory. So let's talk more deeply about mindset, because mindset isn't just positive thinking, it's perspective.
Yes, absolutely. It's the difference between saying, why is this happening to me? And asking, how is this shaping me?
I like that distinction. One question makes you a victim of circumstance. The other makes you an active participant in your growth.
Exactly. And growth rarely feels comfortable. Muscles grow by stretching. Minds grow by being challenged. Character grows by facing pressure.
That's powerful. Pressure can either break you or build you, and often the difference is how you interpret it.
Right. Two people can go through the same situation and come out completely different. One becomes bitter, the other becomes wiser.
And that difference often starts with a single decision, to learn instead of blame.
Let's go back to small steps for a moment, because they sound simple, but they're deeply powerful.
They really are. Our brains are wired to avoid overwhelming tasks. When something feels too big, we freeze.
Exactly. But when you break it down into something small, 5 minutes, one phone call, one paragraph, your brain relaxes. The monster doesn't look so big anymore.
And when you complete that small action, you get evidence, proof that you can move forward. Motivation doesn't lead to action. Action leads to motivation.
Yes, and confidence is built on evidence, not motivation. You don't wait to feel confident to start. You start so that you can become confident.
That's such an important line. Confidence is built on evidence. Every tiny completed action becomes a vote for the person you want to become.
Challenges are not interruptions to your life. They are part of your formation. They carve depth into your character. They stretch your perspective. They teach you what comfort never could.
One day you may look back at this exact season, the one that feels confusing right now, and realize it was a turning point, a moment where you found a strength you didn't know you had. Not because the challenge was easy, but because it forced you to grow.
So if today feels heavy, be gentle with yourself. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to move at someone else's pace. Just keep your eyes on your path.
Just take the next small step. Not the whole journey, not the entire staircase, just the next step. And then the one after that.
And growth is happening even when it's invisible. You are becoming even when you feel like you are breaking.
But you know, Emily, there's another reason why these challenges feel so heavy today. It's the comparison. We're not just fighting our own battles, we're watching everyone else's highlight reel on social media.
Oh, that is so true. We compare our behind the scenes, the mess, the doubt, the struggles, with everyone else's polished, perfect version of life, and it makes us feel like we're the only ones failing.
Exactly. But the truth is, no one posts their struggle. No one posts the nights they sat on the floor wondering if they were good enough. But I guarantee you those nights happen to everyone you admire.
That's such an important reminder. Comparison is the thief of joy. When you focus on someone else's lane, you lose the energy you need for your own race. Your only competition is the person you were yesterday.
And that brings us to a hard truth about failure. We've been taught to fear it, to avoid it at all costs. But what if failure is just information?
I like that. It's not a dead end, it's just a recalibration. It's life saying, not this way, try that way. If you don't fail, it probably means you're not playing a big enough game.
Right. If you're always comfortable, you're staying still. Every mistake you make is actually a deposit into your bank of wisdom. You can't buy that experience. You have to earn it through the struggle.
Encouragingly. So, to the person listening right now who feels like they've messed up or like they're behind in life, please hear us. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be to learn the lesson that will take you to the next level.
Your timeline is yours, not your parents', not your friends', and definitely not some stranger on the internet. Give yourself the grace to be a beginner. Give yourself the permission to be in progress.
Slow and impactful. Challenges are not interruptions to your life. They are part of your formation. They carve depth into your character. They stretch your perspective. They teach you what comfort never could.
One day you may look back at this exact season, the one that feels confusing right now, and realize it was a turning point, a moment where you found a strength you didn't know you had. Not because the challenge was easy, but because it forced you to grow.
So if today feels heavy, be gentle with yourself. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to move at someone else's pace. Just keep your eyes on your path.
Just take the next small step. Not the whole journey, not the entire staircase, just the next step. And then the one after that.
And growth is happening even when it's invisible. You are becoming even when you feel like you are breaking.
Before we go, we want to thank you for being part of this conversation today. Your time is the most valuable thing you have, and we're honored you spent it with us.
Absolutely. And if this episode helped you, or if you know someone who's going through a tough season right now, please share it with them. Sometimes just knowing that someone else understands is enough to keep someone going.
Next week, we're going to dive into a topic that many of you have been asking about, habits. Specifically, how to build a routine that supports your mental health, even when you're busy.
You won't want to miss that one. It's going to be a very practical guide to taking back control of your day. But until then, remember, take it one step at a time.
Stay strong, stay curious, and most importantly, stay you.
We'll talk to you in the next episode. Bye for now.
See you next time.